Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be talking, probably against my better judgment, about JustPearlyThings on Twitter. Now, if you don't know who that is, we'll get into all of that. The reason why I'm talking about this, if you do know what she's been posting online, let me just give a basic intro. JustPearlyThings, Pearl, she posts on Twitter a lot of, I think, rage bait things, which is why I didn't really want to talk about it initially. As time went on, things got progressively kind of weirder, in my opinion. Most of her takes are very traditional takes in the sense of they are extremely pro-men, which, as you guys know, I am both pro-men and pro-women. I don't believe in putting one above the other. As you guys know, that's also why I cover a lot of cases where the criminals are women, because there's a lot to be said about gender disparities and how crimes are treated. Regardless, she's very traditional, very much women should submit to men when they get married. We'll get into all of that. A lot of her tweets cover how men get screwed over in divorce. In fact, she has tweeted a massive amount in the past, I want to say 48 hours. I'll put a screen recording of how many tweets are out there just since like the 22nd, I'm pretty sure. And it's a lot. And I'm not going to judge someone's mental space just because they're tweeting a lot, but a lot of the times when people are on Twitter for that long or tweeting that long about the same thing instead of just making a thread and leaving, having a slight meltdown, in my opinion. I've rarely seen people stay on Twitter for that long and tweet so consistently about the same few things and have it end positively. So I don't know what's going on there. Regardless, she's been tweeting a lot specifically about divorce and how men get screwed over in divorce. That's been the latest topic of the last 48 hours. Let's look into a little bit of that. The reason why I'm talking about this is that there's a clip from Jay Aubrey's video, and I love his videos, so strongly suggest checking them out. Anyway, there's a clip from Jay Aubrey's video that was posted on Twitter, and it's a clip of Pearl talking about her self-esteem. Now we're gonna get into why it's important. Let me just play the clip for you.
You listen to this man, and I have one answer for you. Low self-esteem.
Yeah, that's real. Her answer to the question, why do you listen to this sexist trash, basically boils down to, oh, it's because I hate myself.
From a young age, I haven't thought highly of myself. I never thought that I deserved a lot, to be honest. I never thought of myself as a queen. And I never thought of myself super highly. I'm gonna just be honest here. From a young age, I was what you call humbled, okay? Most of my friends, right, were generally like more attractive than me. I was never the hot friend. Most guys, even the average guys, they would ask me about my friend first. And if that didn't work out, then they would come crawling to me. So, yeah, I would say low self-esteem. That's the main one. And yeah, being humbled. That's why I can listen to Manosphere content.
So this clip has made a lot of people kind of feel bad for Pearl, which is interesting because I'm going to show you her takes and you're going to imagine how those takes were responded to. Until now, there's been a lot of vitriol, there's been a lot of anger, name calling as well. It's not been particularly positive, the responses I've seen to Pearl. But after this clip, where she addresses self-esteem, a lot of people were changing their minds, saying, you know what, I hope that she finds love, I hope that she kind of, grows out, quote unquote, or moves away from the current ideologies she has, blah, blah, blah. And I think all of that is positive because while I don't agree with Pearl on, I'd say, the majority of things, I would hope that for her as well. After this clip, a lot of people were softening their views towards her, which I thought was interesting because, like I said, it has been very angry out there. She also posted this for context of her views, and I think this will contextualize exactly why her and I are not on the same page.
Marriage is about something bigger than yourself. You are supposed to submit and obey your husband. It is always supposed to be about the family. It is never about you. Your feelings are unimportant. You should not rely on your husband to meet your quote unquote emotional needs. You're not supposed to have all these freaking boundaries with your husband. It's your husband. You're supposed to trust your husband with your life. We are so backwards, where we will trust men to be the father of our children. The most important job ever. We'll trust these men with our bodies, but we won't trust them to make decisions. We won't trust them with our money. And we always need to have a backup plan in our heads when we trusted these men to father our children. How crazy, how backwards is that?
As someone who has a relatively unbiased view of marriage, now the reason why I say that is because my parents divorced. I have an experience of what a marriage that didn't work out looks like. Then there's my marriage that was everything. Like, it was all the positive things to me. That's not to say that there's a perfect relationship, mind you, but my marriage to me was a marriage that worked. So I have experienced both things, obviously, in different ways. So I think I'm relatively unbiased towards the realities of marriage and, you know, the realities of divorce. She lost me at submitting to your partner. We're not doing that. And this goes for men submitting to women as well, by the way. I really don't think submitting to anyone for any reason, just no. The way that I've always viewed marriage is, you're my best friend and we're partners and we're gonna work this out. Whatever problems come our way, it's gonna be both of us. It's not going to be like, I'm gonna make the decision, then I'm gonna come tell you what the decision is, and then that's how we're gonna roll. The idea of submitting and like losing who I am as a person because my feelings are now unimportant, that's not gonna be me, girl. That's really not gonna be me. And on the contrary, I feel like if you have any type of mental illness too, whether that's depression or anxiety or whatever, to think that your feelings don't matter at all and that you just have to internalize all of that, I think that's going to be disastrous for a lot of people if they go down that route. I also don't like the idea that you're suddenly not a person because you're married. You're a woman, you have your interests, you have potentially your education, potentially your career, whatever your specific case is, and you're supposed to kind of just like nullify all of that. Now let me be clear, if you decide that you want to be a mother, that's fine. If you decide that you want to be a mother with a career, that's fine. All of them are fine so long as they're your decisions. But the idea that you are going to decide that someone has essentially all the power and all the control over you, again, you can decide that. I just feel like it inevitably does not probably end very well. And I also just don't like the implication that it's expected that you just submit. It's like, no, some women might decide because that's what they want to do, but that expectation should not be there. And if you're seeing marriage in that way, I already think there's a major problem. So I'm gonna cover a couple of posts that give a generalized idea of her stances on things. So there was this one where she posted a screenshot, learned from Shadiah Knight, posting selfies in a relationship for who? Learn or perish. Now this isn't obviously that serious, but I really do think it does speak to the modality of the relationship you expect in relationships. Now everyone can have their own boundaries and their own parameters. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying there's supposed to be rules for everyone, mind you. This is just for me. Posting selfies when you're in a relationship, like I really don't get what the big deal is. Like it's not that big of a deal. If we move on to say posting thirst traps while you're in a relationship, then my opinion is probably going to be different. Again, I really don't think you need to disappear from the world because you're in a relationship. Like posting a selfie, I don't see the big deal, but I'm not gonna go and have a whole monologue about this. So then she says, ask a divorce attorney if they have represented men that did everything right and still got screwed over in divorce. What do you think their answer would be? So there are a lot of tweets that are like this. Like I said, the fixation for the past like 48 hours plus has been how men get screwed over in divorces, how men should be warned before they get married, which is a little bit ironic considering that a lot of people in the manosphere are about getting married and whatever. Anyway, and as much as I think we should talk about the realities of marriage and divorce, I really think that a lot of ideas that Pearl puts out there are one general notion that she then continues to use as if it were a widely accepted truth. The fact that men often don't get custody of children, there are numbers to back that up last I checked. Okay. But again, I don't really think we can just equate this to, hey men, don't get married because you're gonna probably get divorced, and when you get divorced, you're gonna get screwed over. Like, I really don't think we can simplify it